I have done a lot of tall playthroughs on this channel, but today we are changing it up and playing wide. Obviously in the game Crusader Kings 3, it is always better to hold a domain personally. If you are holding a county with a castle barony, you will get 100% of the tax and levies from that castle, and a portion of the tax and levies from the temple and city baronies that are also in that county. But as much as I wish it were possible, you simply cannot hold infinite domains without a penalty. And for this reason, you will eventually have to start granting away your precious counties to vassals, from which you will only get a base tax of 10% or less. But what if I told you there was a way to get your vassals to pay you 25% of their hard-earned gold and even a larger percentage of their levies? Would this all of a sudden make wide better than tall? Well, that's exactly what we plan on finding out in this video, so you are just gonna have to stick around and find out. So here we are in the game, everybody. You will notice that we are smack dab in the middle of Asia right now, playing as this pretty small duchy. And the reason we're playing as this duchy, if I zoom in here and click on the county, you'll be able to see that this duchy actually has 6 barony slots available to it. And that's going to be really important for this type of wide game we want to play, because if I can fill out all these barony slots with castles or temples, hold them personally, then on succession we won't have to worry about our land splitting, because even if we just hold one county that gets passed down to all our kids, we'll still have a good amount of centralized power. And we do want to be having a lot of kids this game because we will be needing that to set up alliances with all of our vassals, so that one, they won't be able to break away from us, but also two, we will have a pretty good opinion bonuses with them, and that's going to be important considering we do plan on invading a lot of clan regions this game. If I take a look at the governments tab, you can see clan regions are all the non-tribal areas that actually follow a Muslim faith in this game. The reason we want to invade them is if I hover over clan here, you can see the amount of levies and taxes given to their liege by the vassals is determined by their opinion of said liege. So if we have good opinion with a ton of clan vassals, we should be making heaps of gold and levies from it. So speaking of having a lot of kids, we are going to be searching for our first wife here. And that is right, we are playing as somebody with a Buddhist faith right now, so they can actually have 4 wives. But for our first wife, we're going to want to make sure to search for somebody with an inheritable trait, and we want to set up a marriage with somebody who is young but also has the fecund trait. Like this 21-year-old right here is probably going to be perfect. So we'll ship a marriage suggestion off for her. And then for one of our secondary wives, what we are going to do is try to find somebody with a dualist faith. So we have a few people over here as options, but honestly, it doesn't matter who we take. So we'll just send a marriage off to that lady. And now if I quickly start the game,
You've got mail. You've got mail.
accept the couple of marriage proposals that we just got in here. And the reason we want this lady with a dualist faith as our secondary wife is because if I go over to her and click on adopt faith, you can see we get a huge discount, a 50% discount on converting to this faith. So already it was pretty cheap. It only would cost 361 piety. But in the early game here, we want to make as much piety as possible. So saving a little bit everywhere we can is definitely going to help. I will be going down a learning lifestyle with a theology focus in order to pick up that extra +1 piety per month. So you can already see we're making almost 3 piety per month from this, which is quite nice. So we already have 2 daughters, and what I'm going to do with one of our daughters is search for a marriage based on alliance power. This will kind of be a good buffer for us. You can see we can ship her off to this guy who has almost 2,000 troops, because we don't want any of these slightly bigger kingdoms who are nearby us to declare war on us and just take our land. So setting up alliance with this guy will just give us a little boost to our military and kind of make us a little bit scarier for those other realms around us. But you can see we just hit 100 gold, and this is important because that's exactly how much we need to go on a long pilgrimage.
Here we go!
Which should get us all the faith we need. As you can see, we just hit 600 to be able to go over to our secondary spouse and adopt her faith. You can see it will cost us 303, quite cheap, honestly. And now we have a new bishop here, but you can see now our wife is this 35-year-old person who had the dualist faith. So what we're gonna have to do is divorce her, go back over to us and then try to find another person with the fecund trait, because we really want to be pumping out the kids here in the early game. So here's one who actually has who's 23, so that's pretty good as well, pretty good age. So the whole reason we did switch to the duelist faith is because our old faith, if I can find it now, our old faith actually has this pacifism tenet, and you can see in here it says that you cannot declare holy wars or raid with this tenet, and that's not good for us. Since we're going to be playing wide, we're going to be needing to do a lot of holy wars in order to take land away from people. And you can see as this duelist faith, we now have access to the holy war. So when we hit enough faith, we can do holy wars for kingdoms or holy wars for duchies, which is going to be a great way for us to get more land. I also wanted to switch faiths because it would give us a casus belli on this kingdom to our south, who you can see is actually the current cultural head of our culture. And I really need to be the cultural head so that I can switch off of whatever crappy innovation we're researching right now and put it on city planning, because city planning is going to be so important for our strategy this game. However, before I can declare war on this guy, you can see he does have a larger military than us right now. So I will take a little bit of time to maybe build up some money, invest it in in my one county here, and then also maybe get some men-at-arms units. One thing that is super amazing about this cool duchy where we're playing as is if we look at our culture, you can see we have some amazing cultural traditions. First of all, we have the dryland dwellers, which I've talked about before in a lot of my videos because it gives you a great boost to your development growth in drylands and deserts. And you can see in a lot of our counties here, they're actually in drylands or deserts. Our capital is in a oasis, which is good enough on its own because it has a boost to development. But it also reduces the building and holding construction costs by 15% in those terrain types. So we are definitely going to be making use of that. The other tradition that it has that's really interesting is this expert artisans tradition. And this one is really good because it just gives you a flat out 10% discount on all of your building construction costs. So that paired with dryland dwellers already gives you a 25% discount on all your buildings. And then finally, there is the horse lords cultural tradition, which is maybe my favorite because you can see it actually gives you access to these horse archer units and they are ridiculously strong. Just look at how much damage these guys do. 45 damage with 40 pursuit and 30 screen with 20 toughness to finish it off. Before I pick up those horse archers, however, I will be picking up a desert agriculture in our capital. These buildings, honestly, for the tax they give you, aren't very good in terms of getting your money back. However, since we do have a culture with this dryland dwellers tradition, you can see these desert agriculture buildings actually have bonuses for this culture. So if we take a look at them, you can see you get all of this extra light cavalry maintenance reduction, light cavalry recruitment cost reduction, and the same for camel cavalry, although we don't have camels this game. But you can see as we go up the tree, those do increase. And if you have a bunch of them in your land, it could make a pretty decent impact. I think also these holding taxes aren't normally aren't normally part of this building, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Okay, so I was thinking of declaring war on this guy with a holy war like I talked about, and you can see we have access to the duchy holy war. However, the only problem is this duchy that's on our border, or it might be the duchy which we're part of. Yeah, so this duchy which we're a part of, we could declare war on him for that. However, it's only one county, so it would only get us 3 counties of our culture, and you can actually see that if we click on him, oh no, if you can actually see if we hover over, or if we go to our culture, that he actually has 5 counties of our culture. So if we took one away from him, we would have 3, he would have 4, he would still be bigger than us. And we wouldn't be able to declare war on him again for, I think, 10 years because we would have a truce. So I think the better way of actually doing this is to swear fealty to him with low feudal obligations.
You've got mail.
He will definitely accept this. And since our character actually spawned in with this beautiful perk here in the administrator stewardship lifestyle tree, you can see we can use a scheme to claim our king's throne right away. Yeah, so right here you can see we can run a scheme. It has 53% chance to go through, but I think we should probably be able to bump this up if we put our spy master on support schemes. So you can see already it's up to a 90% chance right there, because I think he named us as one of his counselors also, which is quite nice. So in just 4 years, it looks like, we will have a claim on this guy's throne, and then we can take it over for ourselves. Okay, so here goes the scheme. It hit 90%, so we should get a claim, and we do. So now if we start a claimant faction against our king here, you can see we can name ourselves as the claimant, start the faction, and considering we already have a pretty strong military compared to him, he has 1,100 troops, we have 1,000, we can actually press the demands right away.
You've got mail.
He will not accept those, so we're going to go to war. What I can do is call on our ally here. He should come in, but honestly, I think with our army, our decently sized army, we probably can beat him. And actually, look at this. Even with a little bit less men, we should get a victory if we attack him right now. Boom. So there you go. We killed quite a bit more men than we lost there. I picked up a few onagers just so our siege progress will start going, will go pretty fast here, as you can see. So if we look over here, you can see somebody else declared war on him for this county, and that is not good. They're already at 79% war score, which is quite bad for us, because if they win that, that's like one county less that we won't have. So what I'm going to do is attack him. He does have a lot more men than us, as you can see, but considering that the tile is Oasis, our horse archers should do pretty well there. And you can actually see it does say we should get a victory if we attack them here. The guy we're fighting against actually took back his capital, so now that war score went down to 33, so we don't have to worry about these guys anymore. I'm just replenishing our units a little bit here because our army was running a little weak. And now you can see our ally arrived, so we can go help them take the capital.
Gotcha, bitch.
Bumps us all the way up to 100%. And now you can see we actually have a beautiful kingdom all to ourselves. Let's freaking go. I am now the culture head, which is the whole reason we did that. And with our new culture head, I can switch over to city planning. And you can see that we should be done in 55 years, but we can definitely get that number. We can definitely get that number down, especially when we start picking up some of these scholar perks. So here I'm about to pick up the profit perk, and this is going to be really important because you can see right there, it reduces the cost of reforming our faith. And I know what you're thinking, you just converted to this faith, why would you want to reform it? Well, the first thing I want to do is actually pick up this anaconism tenet, because as you can see, it reduces the cost of our temples, of both constructing temples and the buildings in them by 33%, which is honestly massive. The other thing I really want to take is switch over to lay clergy, because what this will do is allow us to hold our temples personally. So anaconism and lay clergy, and the lay clergy combination is honestly so powerful. I think it'll really help, especially since we still have 3 completely empty slots in our capital. The other thing I want to do is switch our marriage type over to polygamous, because that will let us have 4 wives at once, which means we can just pump out kids and then use those kids for alliances, for getting knights, or different types of counselors if our counselors are bad. And then that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else that's too important. This religion already has revocable clergy, which is nice, so we can get rid of our religious council member if they're not good at their job. And you can see the total cost for this will be 3,000. So we will need to hit 3,000 before this character dies, but they're 39 right now. You know, they're feeling fine. And we already have 800 piety, so hopefully we'll be able to get there. We should be able to get there. So we just beat those guys in a nice battle, which means their troops are probably weak enough where we can go and start invading their land. And there you go, we hit 100%. This was just a defensive war, but winning it actually gets us almost 50 gold, which, you know, isn't like amazing, but it will help. We have a stack of 200 gold right now, so what I'm going to do is pick up a camelry building. These buildings are very powerful because they actually increase the amount of knights you can have. So we have one of these camelry buildings in every one of our holdings this game. We should have a very high number of champions, and that'll just help our military keep ticking over. Okay, so I just got enough money to go on a very long pilgrimage, so we're going to do that. That should net me another pretty healthy amount of piety. And the next pilgrimage we can go on will be in 15 years. So hopefully by the time we're 60, we can still do it. But it's definitely going to be close. We still have to earn, let's see if we want to reform our faith, another around 1,000 faith before we can do it. Ooh, okay. It looks like somebody's trying to declare war on us for the whole kingdom. What? Oh no, it's just a raid for captives. They are not overly strong though, however, so I'm not really worried. I think even with, I think 200 and whatever less men I have, we should still be okay here. Okay, we just won a crucial battle against these guys. It was pretty even, but we squeaked out a win, so we should be able to finish capturing their land here unless they come right back. Let's see.
NANI?!
Oh, what the heck? Damn, so you can see right there, they actually called allies in who were able to attack us. That is kind of bad news. What I can at least do is just wipe peace. Oh no! Look at this, we just got the infirm trait. That's gonna not affect our health very good. Okay, I think we just hit, yeah, so we can go on another pilgrimage. It's been 15 years since the last one. We're gonna go on a short pilgrimage because we just need like 20 more piety in order to reform our faith. Oh my god, what is this? Minus 100 faith? That's not what you want to see. But plus 250. Okay, perfect. And we got the wise man trait. That doesn't matter at all. What we can now do is go over, create a new duelist faith. So let's go ahead, create our faith for 3,000 piety. Boom. The lovely wide faith. Nice. So you should see our holdings went to 2 because now we can personally hold the temple that's in our land. If we do take a look at the building, you can see even just to upgrade this pastoral lands to tier 2, we are already getting over 50% discount to the cost. Look at that. It would normally cost 225 gold, but we can get it just for 94. So we still have to wait 13 years for city planning to finish. Our character probably will die in that time, but it's okay. We can play as our son, wait that rest of time, and then just fill out these last 3 deserts full of temples, which will all have super cheap buildings that will be really easy to upgrade to do all kinds of great stuff with. Okay, so I was looking at our vassals that we have, and we already have one clan vassal, which is this guy who owns this small county. And this is going to be important because I can kind of show you how we are going to be cheesing the clan vassal system in order to get tons of golden men. So right now you can see this guy has a opinion of negative 53 with us, which means he actually is giving us $0. As long as you have a clan vassal with negative opinion of you, their contribution will always be 0. I'm not sure the exact percentage in terms of levies, but it'll be really low. You can see we're only making 19 levies from him. But if we take a look at him and look at his opinion, you can see he wants a seat on the council, which will give him a boost of 40 opinion with us. So if we go to our council, swap out our spy master who already is worse than him, you can see he now only has a negative 3 opinion with us. He has a few other things here that will affect his opinion, but one thing we can do is actually put our chancellor on domestic affairs, which will increase our opinion with all of our vassals to a certain number. And the better chancellor we have here, so I'm actually going to swap this guy out with this other chancellor who has 19 skill, because you can see this will now increase by 0.5 per month until it goes all the way up to plus 11. So if we let this play out for a couple months here, right there you can see we will now be getting a plus 1.4 opinion with all of our vassals. Looking at his opinion now, you can see domestic affairs is taking place, which brings us to -2. So you can see now that we're almost at even opinion, he's actually providing us with 14.4 tax per month. He's 0.1 tax, so not a lot, but not awful. And then also 65 men out of 160, which is the max he could give us. But if we go to send him a gift, which will get our opinion up with him by 37, you can now see his contribution went up to 18.5%, bringing his gold to 0.2. So that's almost like a building, or it is like having another one of these pastures buildings, and his troops go up to a little bit more than half of his total that he would provide us. I'll wait until this gets a little bit higher and then demand conversion, because I am still swaying this guy. I'm going to modify his contract to give him title revocation protected, which means we won't be able to revoke his title, but that's okay because remember I do plan on just holding this one county where we have here. That brings him up to 45%. Now if we go over and demand conversion from him, you can see we have a 50% chance, so I like those odds. Let's take it. Boom, he accepts, which brings his opinion to us with us up to 81%. So now I can actually set up a marriage with his daughter, and I'll give him one of our sons, which will make an alliance with him. So that brings our opinion with him up to 100% now. He's in an alliance with us, which means he won't be able to join factions. Finally, if we take a look at our clan vassals, you can now see he's providing us with 25% of his tax. So this is a great way we're going to make money. If our vassals are making, let's say, 5 gold per month, we will be getting a flat out bonus of 1 gold per month from them. So that's pretty much our plan for the rest of this game, is to start invading a lot of these clan governments. Pretty much do the same thing as we did with this guy, get their opinion high with us, and then reap the benefits of having a super wide empire. Ooh, okay guys, so we just died. Now we're going to be playing as our son, who was our court physician, so we were able to get him novice physician, which is nice. It looks like somebody's declaring war against us, raiding for captives. Oh my god, and it's this stupid tribal duchy that's down here. We should easily be able to fight these guys off. I'm not too worried. Oh, there you go. So we already hit 100%. I wanted to invade these guys to our west, like I've been talking about, but it looks like they set up an alliance, which is really annoying, with the whole Abbasid Empire, and they have like 10k men right now, so they have a huge alliance. I think what I'm gonna have to do is just go ahead and run a murder scheme on this guy. It does gain me a decent amount of stress, but I should be able to find some people to invite to this through bribes who will bump this percent chance up where we can make this happen. We did make sure to have polygamous attached to our religion, which means you can see right here we have a faction rising up, and they're actually pretty strong. But what we did is create an alliance with this guy, so he'll get kicked out of the faction by marrying one of his daughters, and what we can do with the rest of our marriages is just set up marriages based on things like the fecund trait, as you can see here. And now, even though our character is 50 years old with 4 wives, we should hopefully be pumping out a lot of kids so we can use them for marriages as well.
Here I go killing again.
So we were running a murder scheme on this guy, but it looks like he ended up dying on his own. So now if we click on this big kingdom, oh, look at that. They now have no allies. They still do have a military, which is a little bit bigger than ours, so I will have to wait just a little bit.
A few inches later.
Okay, so you can see their military is pretty low right now. They still have those mercenaries, but I think we're strong enough to be able to take them. So what I'm going to do is do a holy war for this entire duchy up here. Ooh, we just got a very nice artifact when we seize this this recent county. That is pretty awesome. So these guys, looks like they called in some mercenaries, and now their army is too strong with us. So I made an alliance of our own because we have so many kids. And you can see they're coming in right here. So if we attack them on this tile with our allies, we should win. Just like that. So you can see this guy here is invading our capital, and I'm worried if we were to attack him, we wouldn't actually get a victory. If we click on this guy who is the commander, you can see he actually has this holy warrior commander trait, which will give him a +10 in the battle if we were to fight him. And that's kind of like, I think that's what would swing it in their favor. What I'm going to do is go into our quarters. I have some half sisters who are unmarried. I'm just going to marry them off for one for a commander. And then I have a couple other ones, pay no attention to this right here, who I will sort for just prowess in order to get some better knights, like this guy here who has 18 prowess. Okay, so you should see we just got a ton of new knights over here. So if we raise our whole army, you can see we have 5 knights who just came out of that. And now if we were to attack them here, I definitely think we should win.
Nope.
Oh, and it looks like they did not want to jump in, but now we should be able to get them on this tile. You can see the faith hostility thing is really swinging the battle in his favor. We would be at a plus in terms of the advantage modifier if it was not for that. But since we do have a 25 commander against a 13 commander, that is helping a lot as well. So look at that, it was pretty even, but we ended up winning. We actually captured their king, which puts us 100%. So now we can enforce our demands and we get this whole duchy to ourselves. Although you will notice, instead of getting all the, like normally when you do a holy war, if you're playing as a Catholic ruler or a Muslim ruler, you would notice you get all of them, all the counties to yourselves, and instead now we have a bunch of vassals. But this is because our religion, we made sure to keep it on pluralist, which you can see when winning a holy war, we will vassalize rulers instead of seizing their land. And we wanted to do this because now These guys are all clan members, as you can see. So what we're gonna have to do in this situation is try to find a clan member who hates us the least amount, like this guy over here,
Hello there.
who actually is in our jail, it looks like. So we can actually demand his conversion. Now that he is of our religion, we can set up a marriage. If he was a different religion as we'd get like a minus 1,000 here to setting up a marriage. The only thing is I don't have enough prestige to do this, so I might have to go on like a hunt or something quickly just to get a little bit more prestige. So now if I go click on this guy, we can set up a marriage with him. We'll ship this off. Now he only has a minus 11 with us, which will slowly bleed away because we did demand his conversion. One number we're going to pay attention to for the rest of this game is the amount we're getting from vassal taxes. Right now it's 1.1, but I feel like we are going to be able to skyrocket this the more we play. We also had finally hit city planning, which lets us build temples in our lands. And this is so important for our next stage of the game because you can see we're getting a huge discount on temples. They only cost us 188 gold to build, and all the buildings in them are going to be so cheap as well. So we're going to get started working on that. It will only take 7 months to complete. Uh-oh, so this was a little unexpected, but it looks like our character died, and now we're playing as our 12-year-old son. Okay, there you go. So you can see we finished building this temple here. It was very quick, and now if we look at the buildings, look at how cheap we're getting these for. We are getting a 58% discount on all of these buildings. It looks like we have a faction rising up against us here, and it is a populous faction, but with this vassal who decided to join it, which is a bit of a bummer because I was trying to become friends with him in order to convert him. But now our army is a little bit bigger because of our temple we have, which built here, which gives us almost 200 levies. So I'm not too worried about this faction. We should just be able to run into these guys and pretty much win the whole thing right there. And of course we can recruit and demand conversion from this guy who was rising up against us. At least this vassal went to jail, so now we can demand conversion from him when we negotiate his release. And then we can finally arrange a marriage with him. We have a bunch of sisters, as you can see. Set up a marriage with this kid. It should make an alliance. There we go. And it gets him to a +2 with us, which is quite decent. A big problem with playing wide, you need to be always make sure to not to have this penalty for not being the person's rightful liege. And what this means is because these guys are all counts in this duchy here, I actually don't hold this duchy. So technically I'm not their rightful liege because I'm not the owner of the title above them. So to remedy this, I'm gonna have to make some money in order to create this title. But once I do that, it'll actually get rid of this penalty, and this penalty actually reduces their taxes and levies they give you by half. So it is really important to be able to always hold the title above the level of the vassal that you have. We just got war declared on us to reclaim a relic.
Oh my
man, 7k men. That is not going to be easy to defend against. Oh, so I didn't realize it was actually just to get this Tooth of the Buddha artifact. I thought it was for the other one, which was giving us a ton of prestige and renown. But this one, we don't even fulfill the requirements, so we're only getting +3 court grandeur from it. So honestly, I'll just surrender this.
Defeat.
It's seriously not the end of the world for me. And that way we don't actually have to fight off 7,000 men at once. So I can set up a marriage with this guy who I'm currently swaying in order to get a better opinion with him. The reason I want to be friends with this guy is because he has the control of this county here, which has a bunch of castles. This is like an amazing county. It has 7 slots and a bunch of farmland. If we have a look at him here, you should now see we're making 8%. He's giving us 8% of his taxes right now. And that'll only increase as my sway gains power with him. So here you can already see I just got this guy up to +90 opinion with us. So now if we go look at him, you can see he is now giving us +11.9%, which of his 0.9 isn't that much, but remember his county is only at half control. So once this gets to 100, this will double. And then once I create the duchy and give it to him, that will double as well, just like this character here, who we have a 100% opinion with them, and they are actually giving us 25%. I'm also going to be going down the diplomacy lifestyle focus pretty much the entire rest of the game in order to access this befriend scheme, so I can actually friend vassals who have a decent opinion with us to help keep our opinion at around 100%. And then there are some other things like this one, opinion from gift gifts sent gifts will help, and then this one as well with sway scheme power. Okay, so I just hit enough gold in order to create this. So right here you can see we're making 12.5 contribution per month from this guy, which is being modified by times 0.5 because we're not his rightful liege. If we create this duchy, you can see that penalty goes away, and now this goes all the way up to 25%. And actually, you should notice that a lot of these other vassals as well, their contributions will increase because they no longer have this penalty. So now after we created that duchy, you can see our vassal taxes all the way up to 1.7, and this should just keep on increasing as we increase the control in this guy's county, as we continue to befriend this guy over here. Whoa, so I noticed this guy over here, this vassal in our north, is actually making 4.8 gold per month, so we really need to start swaying this guy, which I have begun, to get his opinion positive of us so he can start giving us a ton of gold from that. You can see just with a +5 opinion with us, he actually will is paying us 0.5 tax per month right now. I have enough money to build another temple. It only costs 208. It will take 2 years to make this time because I don't have some of those stewardship perks I had last time. If you look at our vassal tax, we got it all the way up to +2.7. Over here, you'll see we just swayed this guy again to get him up to 58%. You can see he's currently giving us 10% of his tax per month, which is a total of 0.6, which is quite nice. But more importantly, we should be able to demand conversion from him. 72% chance that should go through. It does go through, brings him up to 70%. And now we should be able to arrange a marriage with him, grab one of our many sons or daughters. We have a ton of kids, don't forget. Send the proposal. That'll give him a +30 with us because he is a powerful clan vassal. And now you can see he is making us 0.7 tax per month just from him. So that's like a very good tax building on its own. And we are almost at 3 total vassal tax per month. Okay, so I just finished the 4th temple here. And I've also finished a desert agriculture building in it, which now brings the gold up to 1.1 from here. And you can see we have skyrocketed our gold income all the way to 9.4 in that short time from finishing all these temples. The anaconism and late clergy combo is just unmatched in this game. I'm sure it's like the most powerful thing you can do. And I think honestly, it is about time for me to declare war against this guy here. You can see he has a total strength of almost 4,000. We don't have that many men personally, but I can always call a few allies in. But I think I will get this war going because, again, we are making 3.3 gold from all of our vassals over here in this duchy. So if I can do the same thing by taking another duchy over here, it will be very, very nice. And then we can just continue moving west into more of these clan kingdoms. I'm about to attack these guys on this tile, which we own, and you can see it says we probably will win. If this army jumps in, it'll be a bit closer, but we do have our 800 stack of allies here who should help us out. They also have low supplies, which is really going to hurt them, while we have decent supplies because I was just standing on this tile here in order to regenerate them a bit.
Run away! Run away!
You can see they were trying to run away, which is always a good sign because that means they probably wouldn't have won, but we'll see when these guys jump in. We'll see what happens. And look at that, we are still winning. So even though we had probably like 1,000 less men than them in this battle, we are going to come out with a nice victory.
I'm the winner!
Uh-oh, so I was still fighting in the middle of this war here, and then these guys with the elephants invaded again. Okay, this is the last time I'm gonna let these guys attack me. It must be the 3rd time this duchy is trying to invade me. I will have to set up another few alliances with some kingdoms here, just because I don't think I'm strong enough to fight off both these wars at once right now. I will need some help, but again, that's why we have all these daughters, is to set up alliances.
Double kill.
Those 2 battles, we probably got helped a lot by the fact that there's a nice river here separating these 2 lands. So we got the defending a river crossing bonus, and you can see that actually let us kill a ton of men.
Cheers, love. The
From these
cavalry's
elephant
here.
guys, and it looks like that kingdom we allied ourselves to is finally coming in to help us, which is going to be very nice, very helpful. I might just go rush these guys' capitals because honestly I think I could win this 2nd war faster than the 1st one here. There you go. So we just captured their capital. We can enforce our demands, but they're getting a huge bonus. I don't even know where their army is right now, to be honest with you. But they are getting a huge bonus for holding the war target So we're definitely going to have to stop that and start taking some of this land that we declared for. Oh man, and now it looks like some peasants want to rise up against me. So here we have their whole army. They actually called in some more allies, so now they have like 6,000 men. But I have this kingdom who we called also near us. So when they get close enough, I will run over here. They should join us. Oh, and we squeak out a pretty nice victory. Okay, I just took this piece of land. We are now at 97, but it should tick to 100 very soon. There you go. So now if we enforce our demands, we now get another duchy, which we can play around with all these beautiful new clan vassals. Again, here you can see all of my vassals who are part of this duchy have this symbol because I'm not their rightful liege. And that's affecting how much tax they're giving us. You can see this guy's only giving us 10 when he should be doubling that right now. So what I'm gonna have to do is again wait until I have enough money to create this. But now, since I actually hold 2 duchies already, I have my capital duchy and this one up here, I might just grant this away to one of these guys who I have a good relationship with, and then all of these vassals under them will pay him tax, and then he'll pay me his tax. Okay, so I just hit enough gold to build, to buy this duchy. So right now you can see our vassals are making us 4.6 gold per month, a very good amount. I'm going to create this duchy for 200 gold. And now you can see they're making us 5.1. It does drop down, probably because we get a 15-point penalty. Like, let's see right here, you can see too many duchies, we're getting minus 15. We also are getting this penalty for holding all of these guys' duchy personally. We get a minus 25% opinion with them, so that's going to bring it down as well. I was trying to think of which vassal I want to give this duchy to, and I was trying to find the one who makes the most gold in this area. And I think honestly, this guy here, who we already have a 67% opinion with, makes 0.8 gold, so he's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and grant him the entire duchy. So you might see our total vassal tax go down here. Yeah, so it did go down by quite a bit, and that is like we explained before, because now all these guys are paying this guy, and then this guy has to pay us. But like I said, I can only hold 2 duchies personally. What it will do is allow me to have direct control of this guy, and you can already see his gold per month went up to 1.3. And honestly, as the Duke now, it should keep going up. Damn, so I was just taking a look at some of these clan vassals, and look at this guy. He's currently making 5.9 gold per month as income, but he's actually making 9.2 total because he's also our steward. And look, we're getting 2.1 gold per month from that. That is actually a shit ton of money from just one vassal. The only bad thing about giving these guys duchies is now that they're a duke, they want us to hold the next higher level so that we are their rightful liege. So that means that we would have to take control of this kingdom. So I think that's my next step. I actually have 10 of the 15 required. But even now, we're still making 4.6 in terms of our vassal tax. Looking at this kingdom, actually, they are quite weak. So we're gonna go ahead and declare war on them for the duchy.
I've come for your pickle.
Okay, after I take this piece of land, we should hit 100%, and we do. Boom. It looks like we only got 2 vassals from this, and at least one of them is in jail. So what we can do is go over here to him. He actually likes us too, which is quite nice. And we can negotiate his release, demand his conversion. So if we arrange a marriage with him and this daughter over here, we have an alliance set up, and just like that, he already has positive opinion with us. But yeah, I'll have to usurp this title, and then I can grant it to this guy who I just made an alliance with. He'll get control of all of this. I'll give him these other 2 counties as well. I should grant him these right away, because it'll further raise our opinion with him. And now if I go look at him in our vassals, in our clan vassals, here he is. You should see us making almost 12.5 tax per month, which is not a lot considering he doesn't have any income right now. But as he gets the control a little bit higher in these areas, you can see he's at 0 control right now. That money will start flowing into us very nicely, and as well as once we create his duchy. Oh man, did I beat this kid into the dirt. Look at this. He's in 3 wars right now, and he only has 70 men. Yikes. I just took this duchy, and all of these vassals aren't in my jail, and we have an empty county here. So what I'm gonna do is find the vassal who's making the most money, and right now it's this guy, mainly because his piece of land here has the highest control. So what I'm gonna do with him is go over, grant him this new county. You can see that will actually give us 40 opinion with him, which will put him into +2. We can then go over and usurp this duchy because we have enough money to do that. And then if we go over to him again, grant him the entire duchy, he will get a nice bonus of positive opinion with us, brings it to 62. We can then demand his conversion. He accepts, of course he does. That brings his opinion all the way up to 73 with us. And now we can arrange a marriage with him. And who we're going to do it with, we have a bunch of granddaughters who aren't married. So we can just do that. That brings his opinion up to 88. And now if we go over to our vassals, try to find this guy. Here he is. You can see he will be making us 11.9% tax. And when we do finally make this kingdom, he will be providing 25% tax. But of course, as the control rises in all these counties, he will just make more and more money, and our vassal tax will go up higher and higher. So my character is probably gonna die soon. He's 6 years old and he's a drunkard. And if we look at our succession, you can see one of our titles will split. It's going to split to one of our sons, but honestly, not the end of the world because we'll still have the whole kingdom with all this land and units. So when that does happen, it really shouldn't be hard at all for us just declare war on him for the claims and subjugate him. Boom. Okay, so there we go. We did die. Oh, and it looks like it actually doesn't split. This duchy actually doesn't split from our land. Oh, but the thing that sucks about this is that since our brother gets it, he's actually a feudal ruler, so we're not gonna get the same benefits from him as we would if he was a clan member. And that is actually kind of brutal. I might have to like get rid of him somehow, take the duchy for myself, and then re-grant it to maybe this guy over here who is a clan ruler. So I think what I've decided to do is just murder my brother. It's a little bit sad, but we have a good chance that it'll go through. And we can always invite some agents if we need to, because I really want these clan vassals under our control because they were giving us just so much money. You can see our vassal tax dropped all the way to 2.9, and we had it almost at 6, I think, before. Oh no, it looks like our murder scheme was found out. What we can do is just start bribing a ton of people here and get that percentage right back up. There we go. So you just see it went all the way up to 79 now. I still like the odds. Here we go. And it looks like we did kill him and we got this duchy for ourselves. Now all of these clan vassals will be paying us. And you can actually see our vassal tax went all the way up to 4.9 there. This guy already makes a lot of gold personally, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to negotiate an alliance with him because he's like the strongest guy. And then I will also go ahead and grant him this title, which will get our opinion up with him more. And he wants a seat on the council, but he actually has really good chancellor ability. The only thing is this guy's our chancellor right now, and he's a count, but the thing is he's a feudal count, so it doesn't even matter if he has a high opinion with us. So I'd much rather have this guy be our friend because his opinion matters in terms of our gold income. So now if we click on him, look at his gold income. He's making 4 gold per month. And now if we go to the vassal tab, sort by clan vassals, and find this lovely man, you can see him alone. He is getting us 1.3 gold per month as tax. That is quite good. Damn, okay, so I was looking at our vassals, and look at this, 100% with this guy, 100% with this clan vassal, 100%, and then 100%. We are just raking in the clan vassal money right now. Alright, so you'll notice that we have finished researching the manorialism technology, and what this is going to let us do, which is super important, is upgrade our temples all to tier 2 temples. And you can see this is a huge boost for us. We are going to be going from 0.5 gold to 0.9, get an extra 100 levies. You can also see that we are still getting our nice 58% discount on the price. So instead of being 500 gold, it costs us just 231 gold. So we can go ahead right away and do that in 3 of our 4 temples right away. And then once those are finished in just 3 years, which is kind of long, we can then upgrade the desert agriculture buildings or the homestead buildings in them, because manorialism also lets us upgrade the economic buildings. I also just got mustering grounds, which means I can now get more men at arms. So I'm going to upgrade our horse archers to the next level. I'll actually max these guys out. They do cost a lot of gold when they're raised, but just look at the damage they do. It's completely ridiculous. So I think it's going to be worth it to upgrade those guys. There you go. You can see we just got all 3 of our temples over here to be upgraded. And now you can see they're making us a lot more tax. 2.6 from each one. And our troops went over 7,000. Oh, okay, unexpected. So we died there. But now again, you can see our vassal taxes again dropped because mainly one of our brothers got this land over here. And unfortunately, he does actually have 2 sons. So even if we kill him, we wouldn't get this duchy for ourselves. This guy who makes a ton of money, we want him as a clan vassal under our control because he was actually giving us like most of our money. I just set up 3 marriages with all of my vassals here. So I should now have alliances with them. I think I will just go ahead and kill my brother and then both of his heirs. Just because that way I can easily get this duchy and then just do the same thing I did last life with this guy. Man, I was waiting for this king to die because he is currently allied to the old Abbasid Empire, which is now this empire. He ended up dying, but he still has the alliance, so I'm just gonna have to go ahead and murder him because I do want to invade his land, but I do not want to fight the whole Abbasid Empire. Right now, you can see it has a pretty low chance of going through, but again, we can always find people through here where we can invite them. Like this guy over here who adds 25% to the success chance. And then as we make more money, we can invite more and more people. Oh crap, it looks like he actually discovered it. Well, still, we'll be making more money as this goes through, and then we should be able to invite some more guys. Okay, so I pretty much put all my money into this, but we're able to get it to 63. Pretty good odd. Let's see if it goes through. And yes, it must have been something he ate. So we ended up killing that guy. And now if we look at this kingdom, we can see they are now really weak. They only have 4,000 men. So we can do a holy war for an entire duchy. We'll grab this one and this will help us expand our nice little kingdom a little bit more. A nice battle win right there where we killed almost 2,000 men. Damn, so I had another battle win. I killed more guys, and look at our horse archers. They are doing absolute heaps of damage, both in the main phase and in the pursuit phase. They are just straight up killing. Okay, so we're at 93%. After we take the capital here, we should hit 100. We are in a good bit amount of debt, actually, so it'll be good to end this war. There we go. So here I'm down to my last nephew. I killed the other one, so if I kill this guy, you can see I am the primary heir, so we'll get the duchy back, and then we can get this vassal who we want because he's making all the gold. We want him to be our clan vassal. Okay, here we go on the last nephew. So he died. Perfect. We get the whole duchy again. I can now go to this character, grant him this county here. That'll improve his opinion with us, and I can right click him, arrange marriage with my daughter and him, send proposal. He accepts. He goes to 58 now. Look at that gold he's making, 5.9. Here he is, and look at that, he's paying us 2.3 tax per month. Let's freaking go. And on top of that, don't forget 772 levies. That is no joke, that amount of levies. So you can see our vassal taxes are back to where they were before this character had died, around 7 per month. Okay, so we finally destroyed the last little bit of that kingdom that was left here, so we can go ahead and create it. But first, let's take a look at our vassal tax per month. You can see right now we are making 4.7 vassal tax per month. Quite nice, but remember, a lot of our vassals have this times 0.5 multiplier because we're not holding this kingdom. But right now we're going to go ahead and create it. Boom, look at that big difference in our vassal tax. It now goes all the way up to 9.2. And it actually boosts our military by a lot too. We're at almost 9,000 men right now. Okay, so I'm pretty happy of the success we made so far in this game to show you how you can play wide, mostly using clan vassals. I think to end this video, we have to go out with a bang, and to do that, I am going to be declaring war on this whole kingdom here, which is actually the kingdom of Persia. They themselves have been very strong. You can see they have a very high military themselves, but they also have a shit ton of allies. But you know what? Since we were playing this game where we were having just tons of kids, you can see we have 8 siblings who are alive right now. We have 36 members in our family and we have 5 kids. I'm going to set up marriages for alliance power with all of our kids here. So now you can see we have 12k of allies. I think that is the perfect amount to declare war on these guys. It should be, if you look at the total militaries, it should be a pretty even battle. I'll declare war for this duchy over here. I'll go over to our menu here and call all of our allies. I think I'll also pick up some more heavy infantry units. We have a good amount of horsemen, and look at the damage they're getting. A big boost from a tradition we have from having our martial and trained commanders, and also from our domain. And then we can just roll in there and start messing these guys up. Okay, look at the totals, man. We got 20,000, they have 24k. It is going to be a very interesting battle. Here I'm winning a pretty big battle against a bunch of enemies, and their other side is going to jump in as well, giving us almost 4,000 kills. We've taken all the land in the duchy we plan on invading, so now we should just be able to let this tick positive. Although it looks like we do have some enemies going in to attack us. Boom! So there you go, guys. We hit 100%. We can enforce our demands. And now that we took this last piece of land, if we take a look at our vassal taxes, you can see it goes just above 10 gold per month from all of our vassals. So that is where I'm going to end the video today, guys. I think overall, although this strategy does help if you plan on playing a wide game, because you're pretty much maxing out all the vassal tax that you can have this way, it does take a lot more focus. Like, you have to always make sure to have a high opinion with all your vassals. You have to make sure to keep them allied to you, even though we had a lot of kids, so it wasn't a problem allying with people. But anytime you died, you could see we had problems like with our brother taking over this duchy, and then we'd have to redo it so we could keep this guy friendly with us. It's like a lot more micromanaging than if you were just playing a straight up tall game. But you cannot argue with the results. We are making a pretty decent amount of gold from all of these vassals. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.